Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 51 chapter, and text 50. Pura Rathi Yama Parisakte Sakte Sakrite Charan Matam Gajarva Naradeva Sanjita Sa eva Karena Duratena Te Karevaro Vit Krimi Bhasma Sangita. The body that at first rides high on fires elephants or chariots adorned with gold and is known by the name king is later by your invincible power of time called faces, worms, or asses, bead creamy and bhasma. Prabhupada Maharaj and disciples say the purport. In the United States and other material developed countries, dead bodies are cosmetically disposed of in a tidy ceremonial way, but in many parts of the world, old, sickly, and injured people die in lonely or neglected places where dogs and jackals consume their bodies and transform them into a stool. And if one is so blessed as to be buried in a coffin, one's body may very well be consumed by worms and other minuscule creatures. Also, many earthly cadavers are born and are transformed into ashes. In this way, Prabhupada Maharaj disciples quote Siddhar Swami purport. I will speak it separately. And Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in Saraswati Santika says, this verse describes how time seizes the body. Although one may be a famous king wandering about on a chariot or an elephant, he is eventually devoured by unavoidable death and then takes the disgusting form of a stool, worms, or ashes. Siddhar Swami in Bhagavad Gita says, Kingcha Kalatmana Tvayavi Panno Deha Evam Bhavati Ityaha. It is subject to death. Sanatana Goswami and Brihad Vaishnava Darshan says, time cannot be stopped by any means, such as sacrifices or yoga, dhratena, because it is your answer. So, I would like to speak the next verse, that is verse 51. Nirjita dikchakram abhut vigraho varasanastha samarajabandita gruhe sumaitunya sukhe sujositam krida mraga purusha isaniyate. Having conquered the entire circle of directions and being thus free of conflict, a man sits on a splendid throne, receiving praise from leaders who were once his equals. But when he enters the women's chambers where sex pleasure is found, he is led about like a pet animal, O Lord. Sripad Sarartha Santika, Sripad Vishwanath Chakravarti says, the previous verse stated that a person who achieves kingly status among his peers ends up as a stool and worms by the force of time at the end of his life. This verse describes that even while living, a king becomes a mere plaything in the hands of women. Having conquered his enemies, the king is worshipped by those who were once his equals. But in the private chambers of the queen, he is made to move about like a pet animal for sexual pleasure. Siddhar Swami in Bhagavad Gita says, Kingcha anta antaka prapte prakapi dik vijayino ragyamapi paratantriyam dukham tat avastham evatyah. Even if one is very in a high position, but paratantriya, still then is under others, dukkha, this sorrow is there, misery is there. Sorry. Sripad Sanatana Goswami Sripad Goswami Laghu Tosani says that there is no happiness at death for a person who has lived a life of enjoyment. Even in being a king with all enjoyment, one suffers because of dependence. This is explained in 2 verses. Though situated on a great throne, he is led by women and even their female servants. O Lord, this happens because they are all subject to their Maya. So I would like to speak the next verse, that is verse 52. Karoti karmani tapasunisto nivrita bhoga tat apekya dadat punascha bhuyasam aham swarat iti prabhudaturso na sukhaya kalpate. Translation. A king who desires even greater power than he already has strictly performs his duties carefully, practicing austerity and foregoing sense enjoyment. But he whom urges are so rampant, thinking I am independent and supreme, cannot attain happiness. Shiva Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Sarartha Darshan Tika says, the man who doesn't worship the Lord is condemned for his enjoyment of worldly pleasures, but the same man is also condemned even when he doesn't have sense gratification, as stated in this verse. Such a man is fixed in austerities such as sleeping on the ground and observing celibacy with the urge to become an even more powerful king or even Indra himself. Shiva Siddha Swami in Bhagavad Deepika says, Kingcha tatra ati trishna kurasya na bhoma khyana kasit asti itya. No happiness is there. Jiva Goswami Laghu Vaishnava Tosani says that though following dharma and executing happy afterlife, a person only encounters suffering. A person engages in activities like sacrifices and vows because of being fixed in austerity, and though he renounces enjoyment, he performs his charities, etc., with expectation of enjoyment, or he gives donations as a part of his past karmas. In doing so, he suffers because of depletion of material wealth in his life, and he is not qualified for happiness even in afterlife, for he must fear falling from that position. Vaishno nasti nivritte. There is no happiness in what is temporary, as stated in Vishnu Purana. And, O Lord, even the devatas who attained the goal of Swarga desired help from me, and Muchukunda. Where is the eternal happiness? Vishnu Purana. Actually, Muchukunda went to heavenly planets to help the demigods in their fight against the demons. So, in this way, he has further prayers also. But I would like to stop here with a request to subscribe, share, and like our channel and get the blessings of the Lord. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama.